Podcasting from her kitchen table, it's Jacqueline J. Here with another episode of Cast Iron Skillet Chronicles, where we focus on faith, family, fun, and finance for my fierce, fly, and fabulous sisters over 40. Come on in the kitchen. Coffee's brewing. Pull up a chair and girl, let's talk. Now, here is your host for Cast Iron Skillet Chronicles, Jacqueline J. Hey. Welcome back to the kitchen. Is there a product or service or something that you've been thinking about getting started with, or even maybe a modification to an existing product or service? Well, don't think about it anymore and get going on it. And why do I say that? Well, I'm going to read this article from Insider Magazine on 15 outrageous ideas that made people ridiculously rich. Lots of people have $1 million ideas, but people rarely act on them. Mistakes, too, can sometimes even mean millions if the timing is right. For entrepreneurs, one good idea can prove extraordinarily fruitful, even if it's as silly as something like the Snuggie. The Slinky, for example, was born after a naval engineer made a clumsy mistake. Meanwhile, the infamous Furby was created after its creator was introduced to Tamagotchis and felt an overwhelming urge to pet it. Here are some of the wildest ideas that left innovators with millions of dollars. Beanie Babies. Created by Ty Warner in 1993, were the plush, bean-filled toy fad of the 90s. Warner's Ty Inc. reportedly made $700 million in 1 year, selling the beanies for $5 a piece. By 1999, the company had over $1 billion in sales. Warner made the decision not to sell the toys at nationwide chains like Toys R Us and Walmart, driving up the market at small independent stores and creating a craze. Some stores even received instructions from Ty Inc. not to sell more than a certain amount to one customer. Beanies began going up on the resale market, many with 5-figure asking prices. Since its creation, it's estimated Beanie Babies were able to bring in nearly $6 billion for Warner. Today, Warner has a net worth of over $2.6 billion from Beanie Babies. Next one, Alex, too, had the idea for the $1 million homepage when he was a 21-year-old college kid. He would sell 1 million pixels for $1 a piece in advertising space. The profit? You guessed it, $1 million. $1 million homepage sold out just 4 months after it went up in 2005. It all came about because Tu was interested in making money while also attending Nottingham University in England. And after the site began to gain media attention and all ad space was bought up, he dropped out and began his career as a serial entrepreneur. He has since gone on to co-found the newly billion-dollar unicorn startup and meditation app, Calm. What if you could wear a blanket? Scott Boylan, president of All Star Products, had the same idea, resulting in the Snuggie. Since 2008, over 30 million Snuggies have been sold, raking in over $500 million. Many people remember the silly commercials in the early 80s for Snuggies. A family at a sports game, all wrapped up in blue Snuggies, surrounded by others bundled up in coats, beanies, and scarves, cheering, arms raised. But some others remember the Slanket, which appeared on the shopping channel QVC and airline publication Sky Mall years before the Snuggie. We had seen products like these in catalogs for a while, even before the Slanket came out, I think, said Boylan to the New York Times in 2009. And we thought if we could put a clever commercial behind it and offer it at a better price value, then people would buy it. And clearly it worked. The Slinky, created by accident by Richard James, is now in the Toy Hall of Fame with over 350 million sold and profits reaching $3 billion. James dropped a tension spring he was working with and watched it slink away across the floor, and thus the Slinky was born. In reality, though, it did not happen that quickly. James spent over 2 years developing just how long the toy would be and experimented with different formulas to find the perfect slink down the stairs toy he imagined in his head. His wife, Betty, went on to helm the Slinky business when he moved to Bolivia to join a cult. Betty died in 2009. In her obituary, the New York Times found that the number of Slinkies that have been sold could circle the world over 150 times. Oh, you'll love this one. Gary Dahl, an advertising executive, was known to joke. After listening to his friends talk about the perils of caring for a pet, he created the Pet Rock in 1975, putting nearly $6 million in his pocket. He sold the rocks as hassle-free pets, complete with a pet training manual and a cardboard box fashioned after a pet carrier. The rocks were an instant hit and turned into one of the greatest fads of all time. San Jose-based Dahl tried to replicate his pet rock success with other ventures, though everything else eventually flopped, including a book about the untold story behind the parody pet and another spoof on fitness. Next up, Big Mouth Billy Bass, the famed talking fish known for hanging inside garages and living rooms, was created by Gemmy Industries in 2000 and went on to make millions. Though revenue was never disclosed, some reports estimate the decade's best gag gift made $100 million. It took 2 years of tinkering for creator Joe Pelletieri to get Billy Bass just right. The moving head, the motorized tail and mouth, all in perfect harmony while singing "Don't Worry, Be Happy" and "Take Me to the River." Today, you can buy an Alexa-enabled singing bass from Amazon for $40. The Chia Pet. Clay figures filled with water and coated in seeds that sprout greenery is a cultural icon. You can buy a Chia Pet of a dog, cat, bunny, or even the president. The company sells $500,000 every holiday season. At $16 a piece, that means millions of dollars every year. The Mexican herb chia explodes with luscious springs of green when watered. Creator Joe Pedot credits the idea to his home in San Francisco and an agent at his ad firm's butcher of the name, ultimately leading to its infamous jingle, Cha-Cha-Cha-Tia. Heard for years on television commercials well into the 2010s. The toy was even included in a New York Times time capsule. Okay, now this one, yeah. If you've got an idea, don't sit on it. Get going and run with it. In 1963, Harvey Bell drew a smiley face outlined with a circle and filled with yellow for $45 to liven up buttons and badges. He never trademarked the design, though, and today Smiley World owns the design and makes over $250 million a year. Ball first drew the happy face for his PR company's client, State Mutual Life Insurance. The only money he ever made from the simple sketch was the two-figure dollar amount they made selling it to the client. Two brothers, Bernard and Murray Spain, stumbled upon the unrealized potential of the smiley. Wanting to start a novelty store, the Spains bought the legal rights to the mark along with the now infamous tagline, "Have a nice day." The brothers began slapping the image on everything possible, including, most famously, the to-go plastic bag. So that is just a few examples of some of the outrageous ideas that made people millions of dollars. You think your idea is maybe off the wall, not a fad or not something that anyone would be interested in. You have nothing to lose by testing the waters, putting it out there and seeing what hits, because you never know. You too could be the next billion-dollar idea. That's all I've got for today. Until next time, take care, stay safe, be well, be kind to each other, and be kind to yourself. And be blessed. Bye now.